Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be talking about The Voyage of the Basilisk by Marie Brennan. This is the third novel in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. Before I really start this review, I'm going to preface it with, this little snippet. I do not read nonfiction. Not unless I have to. I have read a couple, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Get a Literary Agent. These are just two titles that I've read. Probably Devil in the White City. I had to read that for school and ended up liking it. Nonfiction is not my thing. It's not when I go out and seek. I don't read autobiographies, really. I don't read memoirs. I don't read nonfiction. And I wanted to preface this review with that because this book, this series, reads very much like a realistic memoir. Now, you would think that would deter me from reading it, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. In fact, for me, I found it to be even more engaging because that sense of realism really does come alive with this, with the story, by going in that format. By writing this story as a first person memoir, you're really getting to know who Lady Trent is as a person, not just as a character, but as a person. And again, this is the third book in this series. The first two are exactly the same way. She's a dragonologist. She studies dragons, and she's in this world. It's very similar to what we would consider Victorian England. It's a very Victorian era kind of realm that we are in. And Lady Trent, she's a single mom. If you've read the series, I don't want to spoil anything. So, spoiler alert, her husband is killed in the previous novel. So, that was actually really sad. But anyway, I digress. She's a single mom. She's raising her kid. And she's also pursuing this career that it's quite unorthodox for a woman to be pursuing. She wants to be a dragonologist. She wants to go on adventures and study dragons. And that's exactly what she does. So you really do get invested in who Lady Trent is as a person when you're reading this book, because you really are drawn in by that realism, that voice that carries on the story. It's not a fast-paced story. It's not. In fact, when I read this book really did take me a week to read. My husband was like, "Wow, that's taking you a week, right? A week is a long time for me." He's like, "That's taking you a long time to read," and I'm like, "Well, it reads like a memoir. It's not really fast-paced." So I'm really taking my time with it. And I did. I really took my time to read it because it was something different and it's something unique for me to read. I don't think I've read anything like this before, this very realistic memoir set in this fantastical world. It really was, to me, very unique to be invested in this kind of world here, this Victorian-esque world. And, her voice just comes alive, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but those scenes where she's just like, in hindsight, I probably should have seen this coming, but I didn't. It just adds to her voice and adds to the charisma because she is a scientist and she really does read as a scientist. Sometimes I will say her voice is a little stiff, but it's because she is very analytical. She does have that analytical mind, but again, it only adds to you getting to know her as a person. She doesn't read as a character. When you're reading it, it's really hard to believe, wow, this isn't real? This isn't real life? It sounds real. It sounds realistic enough, but it's not. And that's what I thought was really well done for the story as a whole. To me, that's what stuck out. That's what stuck out to me as a whole. Her voice, her tone, her tenacity, her charisma, how she gets herself into all these situations, and you're just like, Lady Trent, how are you going to get yourself out of this one now? I love her adventures, and it's not like she goes looking for adventure. She just wants to study dragons. And somehow she's caught up in espionage, and she's caught up in political drama, and she's caught up in warring tribes and warring countries, and it's just like, I just really want to study dragons, but I'm smart, so let me help you guys out with your problems. Mainly because her end goal is the preservation of dragon life. That is what she wants. She's trying to just preserve dragon life. So it's like, I need to solve these problems so that the dragons are okay. And you're going to love that about her. Again, it adds to her voice and adds to her charisma. But don't pick up the series thinking it's going to be this fast, action-packed adventure. It is not going to be that. Not at all. And I think you have to prepare yourself for that. If you're looking for an action-packed story that has dragon adventures all over the place, this is not going to be it. This is not Dragonlance. This is not D&D. This is a memoir. It reads like a memoir. It feels like a memoir. It is a character-driven piece that focuses on the character and her story. You know, that's what it is about. So it is very slow. It does, I will say it does have those moments. It's kind of like a roller coaster, I guess. You have that momentum building up and then woo, and then you have that momentum building up and woo. But those scenes are, they're stretched out, the momentum is going like, they do stretch out. Again, it is a slow-paced novel. It is slow and steady. The slow and steady wins the race. So that is how the story moves. That's its momentum. That's just how it does engage with the reader. So I just want to warn you, it does read like a memoir. Again, I don't read memoirs. They tend to bore me. But the way that this is written was very engaging for me, especially because I do like character-driven pieces. And I do like the world building. And oh my god, there's also some beautiful illustrations in this book. Just look at the cover itself. The technique that went into that cover, that technique is what's inside the story. Again, it's a memoir, so she's including notes, her sketches. She's a dragonologist. She sketches. They're beautiful. The detailing is so beautiful. The sketches, the still life, the analytical side of it, it is so well done. I absolutely loved it. And for me, I found them breathtaking, honestly. But don't pick up this novel, don't pick up the series expecting it to be this high, this fast-paced dragon adventure. It's not going to be that. And you have to make peace with that. What it's going to be is a character-driven piece that is going to be slow and steady. That's just the series as a whole. And like I said, I know, broken record. It's going to read like a memoir. That's just how it is. But it is unique. It is fascinating. And the characters, they don't read like characters. They read like real people. And I don't see that a lot. I haven't seen that a lot lately, not in the things I've read. So when something like that does occur, it does stand out to me. The fact that these are more than just characters. This is more than just a story. It's a memoir. It's a fantastical, magical memoir with real life characters, because that's how they read. They read like real characters, like real people. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and give Voyage with the Basilisk You would think a Slytherin, I should know how to say that. Voyage of the Basilisk, 4 to 5 stars. I will include links to purchase the book in the description below. Please, please, please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And you can also become a supporter on Buy Me a Coffee by purchasing one of my handmade candles, and just by following me here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.